Hello YouTube, this is a Priming from Space giving you guys another Wi-Fi battle for you guys today, and today is OU against Jason using his team. It seems to be a more fatter team than I usually go up against, but it's okay. But it was a pretty good battle nonetheless. We're gonna go ahead and use this Hoopa team for the second time. Hopefully it's the second time that I've used this team on YouTube for you guys. I've used it more times on stream, but hopefully it's the second time for you guys on YouTube. It's a pretty good team featuring Hoopa, and I needed to have some mons there on the team that can help support Hoopa, protect it against its resistances like fairy type moves, especially one of the most common used in the OU metagame, and that is going to be U-turn. So I needed a Sizzle, I needed a Town Flame, I guess as well the Rotom to protect against any physical attacking moves. So that's what they're there for, to help support the Hoopa. And also especially U-turn on my Sizzle and Volt Switch on the Rotom will definitely help and go into Hoopa whenever the time arises to pretty much kill a lot of the fat walls that are there in the OU metagame. So that's what it's there for, and we're gonna go give it a go against Jason here. So if you do enjoy these Wi-Fi battles that I do provide for you guys, don't forget to leave a like below in the video right there. But also be sure to provide any feedback as far as any ways for me to make these content much better for you guys. So without further ado, let's get this shit going. And all the likes and comments down below will be very appreciated. Thank you guys so much. But we're going to go ahead against Jason. I'm going to predict him to go into Carbink lead to get up Stealth Rocks and maybe Screens. Well, screens were one of the things that I was kind of fearing, because there's a lot of things that I cannot do against the screens. I had to go and what I would have to do if he did set up the screens was just waste those screen turns so that he wouldn't be able to get up the screens anymore. I guess it would help for me to take a lot of damage against the rest of his mons if the screens weren't there. But luckily he did not have any screens. I went for the Earthquake the first turn, and he does go for protect here, and I keep emphasizing on the stream that protect isn't the best move. It's pretty bad move to have on a singles team, because you pretty much essentially run at the risk of me setting up the Stealth Rocks, which is exactly what happened there on the second turn. And or also if I had a mon that can potentially have any setup moves like Swords Dance or Calm Mind, I get a free setup move right there if he goes for protect. So one of the cases was that he went for protect and I went for free Stealth Rocks. It was pretty much free there, so he had no choice but to go into Scizor afterwards, trying to putting me in the fear of getting bullet punched. But he does go for the defog there. I go into Rotom Watch, because even though if he tried to bullet punch, I can go to Rotom, or if he decides to U-turn, I go into Rotom. If he wants defog, Rotom would still check the Scizor pretty well after the defog. I can Will-O-Wisp if I want to. I can Volt Switch if I want to. I didn't go for the Will-O-Wisp right away because it wouldn't be that wise to do it early in the match. I would rather take this time to go for Volt Switch. Also knowing by the fact that he doesn't have any resistances or immunities to Volt Switch. Not necessarily resistances, but more so immunity. I can go for the free Volt Switch and still maintain the momentum that I do. So I go ahead into Mamoswine, get an Earthquake down to get some damage off of this Druddigon. I only had Icicle Spear. I should replace that with Icicle Crash. It would do so much more. But I went for the second Earthquake. What I should have done is take that second Earthquake and replace it with Stealth Rock, so that the Charizard wouldn't be able to go as freely as he did to switch into. It would take 50% of its health. I can pretty much follow it up with a lot of mons in my team, especially Talonflame. It would just pretty much destroy the Charizard after one Brave Bird at 50% health. So that's exactly what I should have done, but that's not what happened. I went for the Earthquake here after its Mega Evolve, predicting him to be Charizard X instead of Y, because he had a Azumarill on his team. I have no idea why he has Y on his team when he has a Azumarill, because Azumarill doesn't appreciate its stab water types moves to be neutered due to the sun. I have no idea why he has Charizard Y, but I go into Latios. Either way, I can Thunderbolt freely. Nothing in his team resists the goddamn Thunderbolt, so he went for the Azumarill, predicting me to trying to go for another move, but Psyshock would still have done a lot more, especially due to the fact that his Azumarill wasn't Citrus Berry. So I don't know why he went in on it for the first place to sack it off. Azumarill does a lot to my team. It's pretty much one of the threats to my team. I had no idea why he just sacked off his Azumarill like that then if it wasn't Citrus Berry. But yeah, he does go die down and go to Umbreon. I do not want to lose my Latios just yet, because it will still be a good asset to the rest of this match here. But I decided to take the time to go into Hoopa, not thinking that the Umbreon would go for an attacking move there. So he went for the curse instead. I go for a gunk shot, and it does go for a land for a crit. Initially I felt really bad just because he did set up a curse. She should have took that really well. It probably like around 35%ish, 35%ish with the gunk shot at +1 defense. But he does go for the foul play to knock me out. But at the same time, looking back on it now, I didn't think about it during the stream when during the time that this happened. But I felt like this, instead of changing the tide of the battle, this more so quickened the battle because I still had Sizzle in the back. And assuming that the crit didn't happen, I still could have freely go for a Mega Evolution, which I'm about to do now, and I can still freely U-turn this when the Umbreon is still on the field. So essentially what it come down to is I would have to sack a couple of Mons here and there, maybe like 1 or 2 against that Umbreon, and I still would have had the Scizor in the back. I still would have protected it no matter what and go for free U-turns there. So I don't know. To me, it felt like it was more of the fact that it just quickened the game more so. So he does go into the Charizard, trying to protect the Umbreon. I guess I can understand that to an extent, but at the same time, being at that low percentage of health with the poison, I would have just sacked it off in my opinion. But you know what, it's fine. I can go into the Latios freely against this Charizard Y, and I can go set up a Thunderbolt, and then unfortunately for him, he does get a paralysis from the Thunderbolt. 10% is a bitch, isn't it? So he does go for a Dragon Dance. I was thinking, did he mistakenly get the Charizard Y instead of Charizard X there? I'm not sure. Maybe he was trying to test it out, but if he had Dragon Claw in the back, it's not stab. Sure, it would probably kill my Latios if he was invested in physical attack, but to the rest of the team, I don't know. That really doesn't pose that Charizard Y physical as more threatening than it was special. So I don't know. My opinion, I would just stick with special. So he does go into Scizor. I can freely now at this point, since the fact is that Charizard Y is paralyzed, and also the fact is that Umbreon is like at 5% poisoned, I can freely go for the Will-O-Wisp. Unfortunately, I missed the first Willow on the Scizor, which is fine for me. Willow is pretty much a win-win situation for me. If he decides to switch out, predicting me to Willow again, I'm fine with that, which he does. He goes into Umbreon. I can Volt Switch the turn after my Willow misses or fails. If he goes into Charizard Y, it's fine. Next turn, I can freely Volt Switch. So it's a win-win situation for me. If he wants to go back to the Scizor to Charizard Y, it just takes some free damage for me. So it really doesn't matter. There's no reason for me predicting. I can freely Volt Switch the turn after and just kill one of the mons. Somebody's gonna die essentially. So I can freely Volt Switch here, which I do, and I can go into the Pokemon that can pretty much clean up the rest of the game because all that he has left is a paralyzed Charizard Y at less than 50% health and the Scizor, and that one Pokemon that's gonna end the game faster is definitely going to be the Falcon Flame, the Talonflame here. So I can go and Braver the Charizard Y and Flare Blitz the Scizor, calling it a fantastic game there. So I guess the one thing I have to take on as far as his teams go, it's relatively fat mons on this team. Like you got a Carving there, you got his Umbreon, possibly a physical defensive Druddigon. It's just that those mons aren't as fast, and half of his team is really bulky. I don't know how I will operate against the team, especially disregarding the fact that he has 2 priority moves, which is the Bullet Punch on the Scizor and the Aqua Jet on the Azumarill. The fastest mon on his team is Charizard Y, which is decently fast in the tier, but it's not that fast. It gets outsped by Keldeo, gets outsped by Terrakion, it gets outsped by Garchomp. I don't know. I would probably consider getting another fast mon in replacement of something like Druddigon there. Something to replace Druddigon with. So something relatively fast that can help more synergize the team. I don't know what the Druddigon's doing there in my opinion, but maybe that's just a suggestion on my end. But good game, Jason. If you do enjoy these Wi-Fi battles, don't forget to leave a like below. Let me know if you guys want to see some more. And I'm out of this bitch. Peace!